Hey there, YouTube. This is Mr. Budget coming with you with another deck profile. So, the tri-regulation format is coming up soon, so I figured since I'm going for V, I know there's a lot of new overdress players who are forced into that seat slot. So, I know a lot of you guys don't know what V is and are only playing overdress, so I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to give you some ideas of what you guys could be playing as options since you guys have never played the format before. So, in the next couple of days or next couple of weeks, I'll just be putting out videos of V decks that could be a possible option for you guys to play. They're very easy to play, very straightforward, but also very strong. So, in this video, if you read the title already, this is Amon. This is a dark regular deck. It is very straightforward. It has a very good end board, and not end board, a very good ending strategy to try to get you a win. So, I'm going to jump right into it, explain what every card does, and towards the end of the video, we'll give you a bit of a idea of how the deck is going to flow. So first, we're going to start with 4 copies of your boss unit, Demon World Marquis Amon. This is what the deck is focused around, Amon's ability. Act once per turn. You may put 1 card from your hand, field, and graveyard into your soul. Your opponent puts 2 copies of their cards from each zone that you used into their soul. If they're not able to put at least 6 cards into their soul, Amon gets +1 drive and additional 1 crit. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check that. He gets +1 drive if 6 cards from your opponent's side of the field did not go into the soul. Then during your turn, this unit gets +5k for every 6 cards in your soul. And if this unit is on the Vanguard circle, so it's Vanguard Rearguard, he gets +10k instead of the 5k. Then on Vanguard, for every 6 cards in your opponent's soul, he gets +1 crit. So by forcing cards into your opponent's soul, you're increasing how much damage output he can do, and also by just doing your mechanic, you're increasing how much power he's going to get. So that is the idea, is to force cards into your opponent's soul turn after turn after turn to bump his crit damage all the way up to, like, you can possibly even get it all the way up to 6. So you can one-shot your opponent if they don't have a PG. Next, we're going to play 4 copies of Hope on Damp. Hope on Damp is a great pair for Amon for the fact that once you get 20 cards in your soul, your opponent has to guard with nothing but shield values of 20k every time they call a card from hand. So if they don't have unanimous amounts of 20k in their hands, they cannot guard. So a perfect guard by itself will not be enough to guard Amon's attack. They need 20k shield plus the perfect guard. So that alone implements Amon's ability to get crits to end the game. And a 30k shield will not suffice. You need 20k shield. Not anything over 20k, 20k exact. So having these two combinate with each other can end games. Those are all of your grade 3s. Going right to the grade 2s. We played 3 copies of Amon's follower, Ron Gimli. This is one of your soul chargers. His ability is that when he's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, you may soul charge 1. Your opponent may put a Rearguard or a card from their hand to their soul if they do not use soul charge again. So if they do not put a card in their soul, trying to stave off Amon's ability, you get a double soul charge. Then he has the ability, if your opponent's soul has 6 or more cards in it, he gets additional 10k power, 10k shield. Permanent, even on your opponent's side, even on your opponent's turn. Next, we play 1 card that is so sus, I wish they would have changed the name. Amon's follower, Soul Sucker. I don't know why they chose that name. His ability is that when he is rolled upon by an Amon card, you may soul charge 3 while he's on the Vanguard circle. His Rearguard ability is when he attacks, he may counterblast 1 and soul charge 1. He gets +5k until the end of the battle. And at the end of the battle, if this card, if you have a Vanguard with Amon in this card name, and your soul has 6 or more cards in it, you may put this card into your soul and draw 1. So he draws you 2 cards. So he draws you a card, gains some power, and also has the ability to soul charge soul charge to up to 4 cards, including himself, while he's on the Vanguard circle. So he's another good addition. Next, we play 3 copies of the promo for Dark Regulars. This is Deep Gladys. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. Uh, Vanguard Rearguard ability. When he is boosted when he attacks, you may Soul Blast one. Choose any card on your board and search your deck and graveyard deck and drop zone for up to 3 copies of that chosen unit and soul charge him. So it could be himself or any other unit you have on board. His hand skill is that you may discard him during the ride while you're at grade 1 or lower and search the top 5 for a grade 2 or lower and add it to your hand. The last promo that we play are 3 copies of Covetous Succubus. This is your counter charger for whenever you find yourself lacking. The ability she has is on Guardian Circle. If your soul has 6 or more cards, she gets 5k shield. If your soul has 10 or more cards, she gets 10k instead. So she become a 10k shield or a 15k shield. Her rearguard ability is once per turn when she attacks, you may put another one of your rearguards into soul. And if your soul has 6 or more cards, you may countercharge one. If your soul has 10 or more cards in it, you may draw 2 cards and put 1 card from your hand into your soul. So she's another way to countercharge and to build cards in your soul and cards in your hand. So those are all of your grade 2s. 3 copies of each. Sorry, that's my phone going off. We play going into the grade 1s. 4 copies of Amon's follower, Fu Gimli, Vanguard or Rearguard. Once per turn, you may put a card from your hand into your soul and draw one. Your opponent puts a card from their hand into their soul, and they may draw a card. So they don't have to. This is in deck out issues that they don't have to deck themselves out. The other ability is that if your opponent has 6 or more cards in their soul, you may soul charge one and give one of your Rearguards plus 5k. You may give it to himself as well. Next, we play 4 copies of another sus card, Amon's follower, Acreus Blow. So you have Blow and Sucker. I don't know where they came up with this name. I don't know how the kanji is in Japan, but they got to change that. I don't know. But his ability is great. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, you may look at the top 7 cards of your deck, search for up to 1 card with Amon in his card name, reveal it, and put it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. His rearguard ability is that you may rest this card and soul charge one, choose one of your units with Amon in his card name, and that unit gets plus 1k for every card in your soul. So that not only that he allows you to find your Amon pieces on Vanguard when you ride them, but he also on rearguard buffs your units so they can hit, especially with going against a Force clan. The last grade 1 we play are our grade 3 searcher, which is Alluring Succubus. Act Counterblast 1, put this card into your soul. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Search for up to 2 grade 3 units. If you reveal 2, put one of them in your hand and put the other into your soul. So this is a way for you to get cards like Hope on Damp that doesn't have actual searchers for them. This is a bit better than what's the other card name? Succubus of Pure Love, because this digs for 2 more cards deeper than she does, and then she also puts a possible 2 cards into your soul, increasing your soul count. Those are all the grade 1s. Next, we're going to go into the grade 0s and the triggers. Of course, any V starter will do. We're playing 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 grade 3 hills. Those basically standard. You can change these out for the crit sentinels if you like to have more crits in the deck, but I figure you need as much protection as possible against other things, so I went with the draw PGs, but it's player preference at that point. But this is like basic for any standard deck. Any V premium deck. So I'm going to shuffle up and then give you a test hand to see how this deck does. So I find Amon to be very interesting, especially in this landscape, that in V, there's not that many really defensive power cards, or people are not playing 20k shield. So having the opportunity to guard restrict your opponent, and especially in V, comes in handy because let's say they can draw so many cards, but they're guard restricted by Hope on Damp. A lot of those cards become useless in the hand because now they have to scramble to find 20k values of their cards, and a lot of times you just can't do that. Because maybe your opponent has a bunch of 15Ks in their hands, a bunch of a few 10Ks and 5Ks. They're gonna have to scramble to guard with certain cards that they may want to keep in their hand. So things that they were planning on using as guard value just becomes useless at that point. So with our opening hand, let's see what we got. All right, let's see what we got. So we have a good grade 1, good grade 2s. So I'm going to throw back these two. Okay. All right, so now we have everything we need. So no grade 3s, but that's not a problem. So we're just going to be able, because we have Alluring Succubus, we'll be able to search out our grade 3s. And on top of that, we also have the grade 1. So we'll go for our turn. We'll draw. Nothing. We'll ride. Skill. Draw. Check top 7. 1, 2, 3. Off the top 3. So we're just going to go ahead and grab them on now. And then just shuffle back up. So then our opponent will go. They'll ride the grade 1. Deal us a damage. Crit. Power. Draw. Since a lot of our grade 2s don't have the have any counterblast abilities, so that gives us free reign to use our grade 1s for as much as we like. So I would ride Ron skill when placed, soul charge. Then I will call Alluring skill, counterblast 1, move her to the soul, check top 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unfortunately, we only got the 1 grade 3. So we'll go ahead and grab that card to our hand. Keep in mind, if you only reveal 1 grade 3, the card goes to your hand, not to your soul. You have to reveal 2 to go to soul. Okay. Next, I will call. Use skill. Move a card from my hand to the soul. Draw 1. Oh, we drew into what we were looking for, so now we're all good. Then I will call. Attempt to go to battle phase. Swing, skill. Usually you're going to want to Soul Blast your starter because you don't have extra copies of it in your deck. I'll choose Fu as a target, which allows me to search my deck for up to 3 copies of him. And then they go right into the soul. Bam. So now that already upped your soul count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards already in the soul, so we're already halfway there. So you would attack, no trigger. Pass turn. Normally they're probably going to snipe that, let it go. Damage check, draw trigger. Draw, that usually ends the turn. On turn 2, stand and draw. Ride Amon will gain a protect. Mind you, this is a protect 1 deck. So you want to keep as many cards in your hand. Now, the reason why protect 1 is so great is because you can use your protect 1s to float into a Amon skill and not have to really lose any cards in hand. Any important cards in hand. So then you would go call Alluring skill, counterblast 1, move her into soul, check top 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no grade 3s, unfortunate. It happens. Do keep in mind that you're going to want to have another unit on board so you don't lose Fu's skill. We'll move a card from my hand into soul. Let's go ahead, since we're already at grade 3, we'll move a grade 3 into soul, draw a card. We'll call, skill, rest, soul charge. We'll give this unit plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11k power. Then activating skill of Amon, we'll choose a rear guard, a card from the drop zone, and a card from the hand. Move all these to soul. Your opponent will have to move 2 cards from hand, 2 cards from drop, and 2 cards from near field into soul. If they do not, Amon gets +1 drive. So right now, the cards in our soul are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards in soul. So at this point, your opponent is most likely or more going to have at least more than 6 cards. So go to battle phase, activating, we'll move Fu up, Fu skill, soul charge 1, give himself +5k so he can hit a force. And then swing with triple drive and at least 1 additional crit. Triple drive, no trigger, second check, no trigger, third check, no trigger, unfortunate. Swing at the Vanguard or Rigger unless it got triggers. Pass turn. They're going to try to swing here, so let's say we discard that. Swing at the Vanguard, no guard. Draw trigger again. Draw power here, so you can keep this here. Let's say the swing on a big number. We go protect, discard, pass turn, stand and draw. Ride into Amon again, protect, move back, call, skill, soul charge, call, skill, soul charge, call, skill of Fu, soul charge and draw, and then skill of Amon, we put 1, 2, 3 into soul. Your opponent will do the same. Now the number of cards in your soul have bumped up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 cards in soul, which now gives you the ability to use Hope on Damp. So now your opponent has to guard every attack with increments of 20 shield value out of their hand. Most likely they're going to have more than 6 cards, so this is now bumped up +10. This is going to get another 5. It's going off for skill, soul charge 1, giving this another 5. So now both your rear guards in the front row have +10k power when they attack. Amon is ready, big and stacked and ready with a bunch of crits. So you just go to battle phase, swing here. They would have to guard or not with increments of 20. Swing here for triple drive. Draw trigger, all effects here. Second check, no trigger. Third check, crit. Excuse me, crit power. Most likely they are dead now. So it doesn't take much to get to 20 cards in soul. By your second Amon ride, if you are able to do that, you're going to get to 20 cards in soul without a doubt. Having enough cards in hand to facilitate a good guard, and your opponent just going to have to deal with it at that point. So if you guys liked what you saw, please like, subscribe. There will be much more V promos in the near future. We have a bunch of ideas for beginners to learn how to play in the V format. If that is the V seat in the tri-regulation on day 2 in your area that you are choosing to play in. And if you guys want a specific deck profile off of any boss unit that you are considering to use, please hit us down in the comments down below, and we'll be more than happy to oblige you with a strategy that we can all recognize as a solid going forward strategy. Didn't want to use the word twice in the same sentence, but oh well. But if you guys like what you saw, please like, subscribe. There will be much more in the near future. This has been Mr. Budget saying we'll catch you here next time.